Hello viewers, and welcome to another look at Sega Rally Online. So here we are then. This is the front menu showing you some of the different modes in the game. Xbox Live, Standard Fare, stuff like that, Xbox Live leaderboards. Honestly, I don't really know the ins and outs of why they've sort of worked on the live version rather than just releasing the other version online. Here's just some of the different modes you can see in there from the Championship and different rally modes and stuff like that in the game. It's all time attack, standard fare. I chose manual transmission, probably the wrong move actually, because to be quite honest with you, I actually find it easier to play in automatic because of the way the game works. I saw no benefit from manual at all. Choosing the different cars there, so I went with the Subaru, and there'll be another video looking at the classic mode as well. Time trial leaderboards. I was looking for different tracks, see what we could find, but alas, not all of the classic tracks are in there, only the desert track so far. As I was saying, yeah, so you know, it's very much like the version that was released about 3 years ago, but released online as a live arcade game. Away we go. Unfortunately, this being my first go, I didn't know how to change gear, so I'm trying to find the change gear button at the moment, but I thought, honestly, I'm only ever going to play this once. So, 5th gear, and away we go to 6th gear, over the desert here. There's not a lot of feel. Actually, it doesn't seem to play as well as the version that was released 3 years ago. You can see there's a lot less ground detail as well. Really curious. Here we are with the game being released in 2011, and it does still have a very sort of cartoony sort of PS2 look. I know. I think another key thing straight away that strikes you is the frame rate. 30 frames per second on a game in 2011. Who would have thought it? Who would have told me that Sega Rally in 2011 would be at 30 frames, but Sega Rally 1995 would be at 60. You know, it's a real issue at the moment with Namco re-releasing Ridge Racer and Sega not seemingly knowing what to do with their Sega Rally brand. Letting down the old style here, but here we are then. So, it's a bit of a seaside track, obviously a mix of textures here. Around the first couple of corners I went wide there, no good at all. Just sort of mucking about really, seeing if you can go around corners at full speed and when to lift and when you need your brakes. You can manage an awful lot of this at full speed. I actually drove better on my first sort of muck about. I tried the trial first to see what it was like. I thought, yeah, it went with automatic, and then I thought, well, I'm going to be hardcore with manual. And actually there isn't much gear shifting, and saying that, the gears are quite strange. I mean, you never go lower than 4th even for a hard corner. And then as soon as you shift down, you want to shift up again. There's no real feel of traction or anything like that there. I just drove around that corner, and that was actually a much better drive around the corner rather than sliding the car. So, working my way around, you know, you've got your mud, sand, no real necessarily a feel of, you know, textures or anything like that. I don't really get a feeling of grip or, you know, I think we've been spoiled, haven't we, in the week that they released Dirt 3, Sega released Sega Rally Online. Probably not the best idea, honestly. Probably wasn't as well thought out as it should have been. Onto the canyon track now. Again, the graphics don't look as detailed as they did in the original sort of home and arcade versions. I was trying to remember the circuits actually here as well. I couldn't remember them very well. Obviously there were different variations as well. Coming down to a tight corner. Again, I kind of oversteered. I was sure that the corner went round a bit further in the original game. But again, it's just a matter of turning in, maybe coming off the power a little bit, but I don't think I did much. I think I just went down a gear, braked with the gears basically, and went from there. There isn't quite the feel to this original. I'm probably going to do and I could be wrong entirely, but I will do a look at the version released in, you know, 2007, and also some of the classic Sega rallies as well at some point. Around the rather bland looking desert, cliched. As I say, artistically it's very dated. I mean, it looks like it was a game that was released, you know, 10 years ago and just kind of, you know, kicked out the door in a way. Because it's a live arcade game isn't really an excuse. I'm saying that, you know, when you look at Outrun, which I've been playing, you know, runs at 60 frames, it looks great. You know, it still looks an awful lot better than this. They'll probably say that, oh, we used all of our processing on the mountain textures. But no, honestly, there's no excuse for, you know, this in this day and age. In that sense, this is a key brand. This car here, look at that, steers in on me. What a scumbag, is all I have to say there. You know, what would Ali G say in that situation is what I ask you right now. What would he say? Yeah, around those sections then, I'm honestly not too bothered here. I'm just taking it, seeing how it feels. It's all floppy over the jump, so every time you go over a jump it just goes all over the place. Even if you take it pretty straight, you never really get a feel for it. There is actually a different feel between the tarmac and the dirt textures, but I'm just kind of going through the motions of it here. I should have picked one lap per track rather than the 3. I think the nicest bit about this map is probably the bridge. Other than that, again, it's pretty bland here, isn't it? There's not a huge amount of ground detail. Took that all wrong there. I should have been wide coming in, but doesn't matter. On to this final lap then. That's always a tricky section. You just brake before the tarmac, and here you get in early as well. I get it all wrong, mind you. Again, I thought I'm not bothered. This is my first go and only go, so I'm going to run this, and then after that I'll do the other parts of the game. You will see another video which is going to be a run on the classic desert track, which has been remade as well, and I'll be showing the original desert track. So here we are, the final track then on this particular rally. I'm sure that if you come first there might be a lakeside section as well, which I'll probably show you another time. I was looking at restarting there and thinking, oh, I forgot to change gear at the start, blimey, you know what, let's just finish it. So I just went with it from there then. There's no restart button there, obviously. Ran the hairpins, seeing how it feels. Oh, I broke way too much there. You could take a bit more speed than I was anticipating. Up the hill here, 4th gear. It's funny, isn't it, taking a hairpin in 4th and 5th gear. I think that's the problem. I just, you know, what gear do you go in? Do you do 5th, do you do 4th? Oh no, there's a bit of ice in the road, you have to take it in 4th gear. So there's not really any feel again to that, and obviously you get a bit more grip in the tunnel. That section here is actually got quite a good feeling of speed. But certainly not the skill that was required in, say a game like Sega Rally 2 on the ice. I always hated the ice track there. You had to be so tentative and careful with progressive acceleration, but here you just put your foot down and go for it. Really nice quick downhill section now. Around there, here we go, nice, lots of speed down here. And this we brake a little bit early and just sweep the car in. Always a nice slide. That's probably the most satisfying corner on the whole game. Here I broke down a bit and thought, oh wow, the car just oversteered. It just turns in an instant. There's no physics or anything like that there, you can see. It really is pretty dated in that sense. So next time I'll try it at a higher speed. So the first lap is kind of a feeler, if you like, and then the second lap you say, right, I've got a better idea of what I'm doing now, so there we go, carrying a bit more speed through here. And again, staying in 5th, we went down to 4th there, better speed. And again, 4th is maxed out in like a second. It's like, wow, do I take this in 5th? And in here, I think, oh, 4th maxes out, I'll try it in 5th, but that's definitely a 4th corner, 4th gear corner, in the tunnel again. And of course all this mucking about, have a couple of goes and you'll easily come first. I mean, it's not that challenging. And those of you who've seen my dirt videos will know that obviously a couple of practice goes and you can move from being, you know, all over the place to learning it. It's just, like I say, 1 or 2 laps on each track and you know them inside out. On these tracks as well, a lot of it is full speed. There's literally a couple of corners where you have to change gear. Get hit by that guy. That could have been nasty in the tree. It's on the inside there, but still comfortable slide. And now coming to this corner again, I thought I'd try it at a higher speed. Last time the car oversteered, so yeah, trying at a higher speed, and that time it kind of understeered on the exit and slid out. But there you go, viewers. That's a quick look at Sega Rally Online. There'll be another video coming up where I do the classic track as well, and more bits and pieces. But that's it now, viewers, and I'll see you all soon.